All right, guys, Monica Brant here. You've tuned into the Monica Brant Show, and I'm so excited. Day 2 of the Arnold Sports Festival here in Columbus, Ohio, and I've been having such a joy of talking to so many greats, both present and past, and I get to now talk to Johnny Jackson. Johnny, let's see. Ooh, baby, that's like hard as a rock. Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's a pleasure being here,
great.
Monica.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So you've been here with Allmax, is that correct? You just came out of the expo, which gets a little bit nutty in there with all the people.
Yeah, and it's exciting. Like we talked about a little bit ago, it's great to see, you know, the expo back here in Columbus. It actually opened, and because it was closed last year, the expo, and I mean, it was unexpected, the many people that are here. And we almost sold out today.
Wow.
And we still have a couple days. So great job, guys. Keep coming in. We look forward to seeing you.
So what is being sold at Allmax?
Well, just the pre-workout, the Igniter. And then we have the BCAAs. That's really important. And then also we have 𝗬𝗁𝘂𝘁𝘂𝗯𝗲. So, and then mind you, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Allmax products, protein products, are actually labeled as a food product in Canada because they actually use meat to process to get their protein.
Okay.
So it's a gut friendly is one thing I love about it, and so it absorbs faster, of course, and more effective. So great products.
So one of your favorite. How long have you been with Allmax?
I've been with them a little bit over a year now.
Okay. So sporting it. So people are coming over to see you and buying the product and enjoying all the good benefits from it.
Absolutely. I hope so.
So as an IFBB legend, you are. What has been your favorite part of the Arnold Classic and coming to this show, and how many years have you been here?
Oh, wow. My favorite part of the Arnold is when I got 3rd place here. So that was my favorite part about the Arnold. And actually,
what year was
I won the Arnold South Africa in 2017, the year I retired.
That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, not at all. So
South Africa.
South Africa.
Cool.
Absolutely. Who gets to go to South Africa? I mean, I got to go. I got to visit. Went to a elephant sanctuary and a not tiger, but a lion sanctuary.
Nice.
And man, it was awesome. But I get to win the show too. And the South African president was the one that actually gave me my medallion on stage. So that was an honor behind Arnold giving me the cup.
Right.
You know, so great experience for sure. So I love the Arnold.
Well, that's one of the neat things about this industry is that we've been able to travel as athletes all around the world and meet other fans in different locations that maybe they couldn't get to us, but we can go to them because of this industry, because of the competitions and the IFBB and the promotions. So,
absolutely.
You know,
I've been to 60 different countries.
I didn't know they had 60 countries. Blonde hair, just kidding.
It's funny, but little poor kid from Hampton, New Jersey, and I get to travel the world. Like, I would have never guessed if you had told me when I was young that I would be able to do what I've done.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible. It's a blessing, thank God, for sure.
Absolutely. So, speaking of being a little kid, where did you grow up and what got you into bodybuilding?
Hampton, New Jersey is where I grew up. It's the blueberry capital of the world.
Is
mind
it?
You. Yeah.
Wow.
Very important.
Blueberry capital? Like for real blueberries?
Yeah, for real blueberry.
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's all farmland. Everybody think of New Jersey and think
I thought the beach.
Like 𝗬𝗫𝗁𝗃 City or those movies where it's all concrete, all concrete, all that. But no, I'm from South Jersey, Hamilton, and it's all farmland, basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I knew about the beach, and then that's kind of it, because I guess maybe the people I knew in Jersey are always talking about the beach, but...
Right. Well, Atlantic City. I lived about an hour from Atlantic City.
Okay.
And then Wildwood is about 45 minutes. So, awesome beaches and boardwalks. Okay, but also, like I said, it's all farmland. And
so you grew up...
peach farms, blueberry farms, apples, vineyards, all that. So
those things grow, I guess, in the colder climate.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And then the grass is like blue-green. I remember taking my wife there for the first time, and she was just like, oh, my God, it's beautiful. And, you know, in Texas, most of the houses are cookie cutters. You know, it's
Hey,
all
now
the
I'm
same.
in Texas, so
Yeah. But it is like that. It's
yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha.
The New Jersey is all the Victorian homes.
Some more
you know,
authentic.
it's all different and
Right.
personalities. It's amazing. And so she was like, "Can we? I want to move here." I'm like, "No, no, that's not happening. It's too small, too congested."
So you grew up in Hampton, and what was that kind of? Was that country then?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it was in South Jersey, so all farmland.
And what
mostly.
were you? What did you do as a child? Like, what were you involved in?
Mainly lifting,
Okay.
more than anything else. Yeah, I actually started at a young age, around 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Got pretty serious in it. My older brother, which he's actually the one that really got me into bodybuilding, because that was his dream, to be a pro bodybuilder.
Oh, did you take his dream?
Well, what happened was he passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I used his dream and made it mine. And it was like, it was helped me to deal with it, you know, and it was something we were doing together.
Okay.
You know, and it took me 4
sorry.
years to turn pro, and we've been doing it ever since.
So he's still with you?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I don't
man.
believe anything different. Absolutely. And got me through a lot of the struggle, because you know as well as I do, like, this is not a sport to take lightly.
No.
You know, people, you know, on the outside looking in, especially young people, and I have to say a lot of companies also today kind of portray, you know, like the lifestyle of a bodybuilder is all these, you know, going out to fancy restaurants and fancy houses
Right.
and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not reality, you know? And so we don't, you know, put off enough reality, you know, because it's like, I wish it was like that. It was like, I hope I can afford my supplements from 1 month to another, so I can keep doing what I'm doing, you know. And so with little kids, and they're watching all these people act like they're filthy rich because they're bodybuilding, and they think, I don't have to go to school.
Right.
I don't have to study.
Right.
I don't have to work. Only thing I have to do is take some gear and work out and become rich.
Right.
You know, so
not
how
realistic.
do you change that? Right. How do you change that when we put off that all the time? You know, so somehow we have to take some responsibility, some of us veterans, OGs, if you would, and take some of that responsibility on our backs and kind of put out there some reality. You know, some reality videos,
true reality
talks, something like that. Like, you have to, you know, be a little bit smarter than what you decide to put in your mouth or inject into your body.
Absolutely.
You know?
Wow. So you started at 8. Do you remember your first dumbbells or workout, or were you home? Or were you?
Absolutely. Well, I would say 8 because that's when my brother started taking me to the gym with him more often. But before then,
how
I
much
was
older
running around.
Was he?
He was 10 years older. I'm 51, so he'd be 61 now.
Okay, yeah. What a special thing. Most siblings at that much age difference don't really spend quality time like that with a younger sibling, but he obviously loved you and was proud to have you with him. And
I totally was blessed.
What a special.
For him in my life. It was. My dad was a truck driver as well, so he would be home for a day, gone for a month, home for 2 days, gone for a couple weeks, back and forth. You know, so my brother kind of took that role on when he started seeing me, you know, start to mess up some, and he was like, "No, you know what? You start coming with me." He would pick me up after school, take me to the gym and stuff like that.
What a treasure.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to work out with their older brother and his friends, hanging out with them, you know?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, so everybody didn't pick on me so much because I was with him all the time. You know, it was so cool. So when that happened, it was a no-brainer. I was actually in the military. I was right at my 10-year, almost at 10 years, and I could either re-up or ETS out. And I decided to get out because of him and pursue bodybuilding. And like I said, 4 years I turned pro and been doing it since.
Well, thank you for your service. I didn't know you were in the military. Which branch?
Army.
All right.
Desert Storm. I spent 9 months my first tour and 6 months my second tour.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, and God has protected you and gave you a mission.
Yeah, for sure.
Outside of that too.
Yep.
I bet it's kind of hard to see what's going on in the world right now, knowing what you know about the military and what you went through. and kind of seeing what's going on with the military, with the administration, and kind of how it's unfolding and unfolding sadly for the military in a sad way. And
it's scary to say the least. You see pictures and videos and stuff like that, and of course all that stuff flood back in. And mind you, I turned 21 over in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. So I was 20 years old. We left country January 7th in 91. My birthday is January 30th. So, I'm sitting on the cot pouring water over my head because it's 120 degrees going, I'm 21 today. Lucky me. And real quick, I get off on stories, so you gotta watch me.
It's all good.
Not too long ago, I guess about my daughter's 13 now, so I would say about 7 years ago, we went to Texas. My wife graduated UT, and my son actually he graduated LSU, he turned pro as a hammer thrower now. He's second all time at LSU in distance. He won the NCAAs also. So anyway, we're going to a meet to watch him, and we're going by UT, and my wife Rebecca looked at my daughter Georgia and was like, "Hey baby, there's the dorms Mommy used to stay in."
Oh wow!
When I went to college here, I was about 21 or 22 at the time, and I was like, "Yeah," and I was in Kuwait sitting on the cot pouring water over my head. She was like, I was like, "Yeah, while you were here in college having fun, I was sitting in the desert." And she was like, "You know what? I really never thought about it that way." And I was like, "Yeah." So, a lot of my younger years where you party and have that good time, I was trying to survive.
Well, and you were fighting for our country.
For sure.
So, well, thank you again for your service. I come from an Army upbringing. My dad is third generation West Point grad and Ranger School and a Ranger and Green Beret and all the things. And my great grandfather, 2-star general, he ran Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio. He ran that two terms, I guess 1938, 1942. So I got to go in and do like a huge tour of Randolph Air Force Base, and he's got a big picture up in the Taj Mahal. I got to go into the captain's home. The general's home, the general's home.
Wow.
And it's so cool because my dad walked in and he's just looking around because they still have a lot of the home is set up the same way it was set up when my great-grandfather lived there and ran Randolph.
You remember a little
and
bit
he's like, that picture, that's where his grandfather, right? That's where my grandfather was in that picture. He was standing, he goes, I never knew where he was standing in this certain picture, right?
Wow.
So it was like, my dad was just floored, and it was so cool for me to get to do that for my dad because I had a client who was in the Air Force. She was dating the guy that was the main assistant to the general that was running the Randolph Air Force Base. So they got us with the historians, and they rolled out the red carpet for us, and it was such a joy to do that for my dad and take him through that. And so I have a huge respect for military and of course Army. I can't say that to Air Force, but I'm like, but I am so appreciative of what the military does for us every day.
Incredible. Wow. Every
day. But wow, so 21, and just having that memory, and God's brought you all the way through to here, and IFBB Pro, and winning shows, and being able to travel and tour the world in a different environment.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So
I'm glad also, and he instilled this in me, is, most people who know me know what I did in powerlifting as well. As
okay, well, let's talk about that.
Where I won 2009, I won the world's strongest bodybuilder title. Robin Chang, thank you, Robin, actually, set that up. Separate from the Mr. Olympia, and I have to admit, like that year is when I had my daughter. I didn't have, my wife had, but we shared it.
Yeah,
of course. We
you helped in some spots, and she had.
Shared the drama.
I like that. I had, but no, I didn't have her. Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
And so it was so stressful. I was so tired, and then back and forth to the hospital. Trying to do cardio and get ready.
This is 2009.
2009.
And you're getting ready for a show, and
she was having the baby.
She's having the baby.
Yeah, it was the year we had Georgia.
Okay.
And I could not qualify for the Olympia for nothing. Mind you, I qualified every year I had been pro up until then, and I was like, oh my God, this can't be happening. I just could not nail it because it was so stressful, in life.
Right.
And then I remember the Atlantic City Pro in August was like the last show before the Olympia that I could compete in. And Robin called me and was like, "Hey, would you want to compete in this instead? You know, this, that, and the other." I was like, "Thank you, Lord. You must have heard my prayers."
Give me
because
something.
I was able to, you know, not disappoint by not qualifying for the Olympia and save face by still going to the Olympia, but competing at a different capacity.
Right. And,
you know, but
and one that you had to actually do something to prove, right? Like you had to,
sure.
right? It's like, it wasn't just, what do we call I'm like, lives in that word right now, but just, you know, someone's speculation. It's like a performance base, right?
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's really fun to have that, because when you're a competitor in a physique thing for years, like similar, I competed 26 years in this industry. It's all, you know, how someone looks at you and views you. But then I started running track in the Masters USATF, and I loved it because I could go sprint, and I could feel, even if I came in second or third, I could get a PR and still feel like I won.
Yep.
You know, and it was like, it's so nice to have that variety. And so obviously you're an athlete, and you must have enjoyed having that variety of having still something to compete in and prove, you know, something even about you being an athlete.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I would like to get out there is, you know, don't limit yourself. You know, only time I tell people they should live in a small box is when you're getting ready for a show.
Right.
You know, you got to put the blinders on, not worry about what everybody else is doing, and take care of self. But besides that, don't live in a box. Live outside. Don't ever, you know, not think you can accomplish something because you do something else. You know, because if I would have listened to everybody else saying, "Why are you powerlifting? Bodybuild, that's your main thing. You should do this. You'll be better." But I wanted to be me. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, what fulfilled me.
Right.
And so even though I was never Mr. Olympia, I felt like it because my whole career I did what I wanted to do, and I did the way Johnny, you know, wanted to do. So that's more.
So no regrets.
None at all.
And that's so important. No regrets, right? You want to make sure that you put your best foot forward every day, and every time you're going for something, you give it your all. And that's always, because, you know, there's 20, 30 other people that are doing the same thing. And,
that's right.
You know, everyone's got that, you know, most people have that same drive. So you're up against a lot of competition in all of those different areas. So,
And another thing is worry about yourself. Everybody project themselves onto someone else and worry about what they look like. I need to beat this guy. He has this, has that. You'll never be that person. You're who you are. And if you work within your physique and make that the best, you can challenge anyone. I don't care who they are or what they want. So it's important to, you know, realize and know that as well.
That's awesome. So what do you have coming up in the next year, this year? What have you got going on?
Well, you know, I discovered that they may be bringing back the 20 or the Masters Mr. Olympia in 2023.
I heard this.
So if that's the fact, then absolutely.
Well, I mean, you still got all this.
Well, I have to be honest. I have to.
It's still out there.
Yeah. Well, I first have to see if I'm able to do it. So there's a year in front of us. So, you know, it'll take about that much time to get myself oriented to be able to diet and look the right way.
Right.
You know, I didn't lose too much body mass, but my muscle bellies are flat and deflated. So I have to work on myself and get myself back into contest dieting shape before I can contest diet.
It's funny. So you're saying flat and deflated, but this doesn't look flat and deflated. So maybe explain that for our viewers, because I'm sure if someone sees you, they're like, you don't look flat and deflated.
Well, for what I look like now, but if you compare pictures of what I look like while I was competing compared to what I look like now, Dad, you know, it's a big difference. It's not hard to see if you put pictures together, but I can understand if they just not know me or not see other pictures from before and see me now, be like, man, are you kidding me? But no, it's level. We know there's levels to this.
Right, and we're our biggest critic, and we want to make sure that if we're going to do something, we do it to that level and not just sort of.
Yeah. Never, and I would never do it, and I never have, go in thinking, I got this, you know, or I'm already there. Are you kidding me? It's
some
under
work
construction.
To do.
Yeah, every day of your life. If it's regular life or if it's my body, I'm under construction to be better.
Right. Well, especially because as we get older, there's changes in the body, and we have to kind of assess where we are and transition in some different paths to accommodate what those changes may be, and the mindset. And then if you've got businesses and family, and trying to juggle everything around, and make sure the wife's on board, because the spouse has to be on board, otherwise it just doesn't work.
100%.
Just doesn't work.
One of the stories I tell is, I went all the way to the Junior Nationals in '99, and I won that light heavyweight class before I started taking anything.
Okay.
And before I started doing anything, I sat down with my wife at the time first and asked her and made sure she supported me, because if it didn't, it's all for nothing.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, bodybuilders are selfish, but we still need that support group to be behind us to be successful.
Well, I mean, like any athlete that competes in any sport, they have to be selfish. And I don't think that's a negative. Right. I mean, people can have a bad, they can make it negative, but it doesn't have to be negative. It's, some people make it negative because of that's their attitude, or their, whatever their, conceit or whatever it is. But for the most part, like every athlete in every professional sport has to be that way, because time is so limited and the body can only handle so much, and there's so much to be done to get ready for a competitive event of any sort. Right. And then you always have to have the team around you and the support around you, because nobody can do any of this or any other sport really without having a good support system.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's so important.
People act like they do it on their own.
Oh no, no way.
Just say it.
Or maybe they've pushed everyone away because of the bad attitude.
Right.
So they're like, they have to do it on their own. I don't know, but I don't know. So we're looking at that maybe, and in the meantime, just working.
Yeah, for sure.
Living some life and.
Yeah, join Allmax. I actually have a podcast now, The Hardcore Truth with Johnny O. Jackson through Generation Iron.
Oh, cool. You're going to have me on?
Yeah, oh. Well, right now...
Is it just men?
It's just me. I don't think they're not giving me that leeway yet.
You're not having guests on yet?
No, it's just me, like, okay, son, let's see what you're going to do. And so it's just different topics that we choose. And,
so it's a different platform. It's just you right now talking. You don't have, you're not bringing guests in yet.
No, not at all.
But when you do, look me up.
Oh, for sure. You owe me.
I do. I would love to be on.
Cool.
Dan Solomon, right?
Oh, of course.
So back in 2005, he had the first bodybuilding show.
Yep.
I was his first female on.
Wow.
Yeah, and he reminded me, because I had him on this show. It's been over a year. And he reminded me, he's like, do you remember who was my first guest on my show? And I was like...
Did you remember or no?
I remembered being on a show, but I didn't remember I was his first female.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so it's just kind of fun to reminisce about all the old school things.
So I feel sorry for everybody that came behind. Because it's like, how am I going to look as good as that? Are you kidding me?
Oh, you're cute. Thanks. Well, this has been really fun catching up with you, and you're going to go in here and talk at the Arnold's education piece, right? You've got
we'll see what happens. They might throw some stuff at me, but that's okay. I can handle it.
They want to know all the secrets, all the goods.
That's right.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, God bless you in your endeavors.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking time for the Monica Brant Show. And you guys tune in for more awesome, legendary athlete interviews coming up. So
she's still awesome.
Hey, Monica here. In order to get more videos like the one you just enjoyed, be sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification, and please feel free to share and like the videos so that more people can enjoy them too. So as always, stay fit, love life, and looking forward to tuning in to the next episode of the Monica Brant Show.